What's up, everybody? Thanks for downloading the Voice of Bedlam podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Santoro. It is draft weekend. Round 2 is already rolling. We're going to be giving you guys some live updates about round 2, breaking down round 1, just one big old draft party. First news, though, Papa Sean Bedlam returns. What's up, new daddy?
What's up, guys? It's good to be back here. I got a little bit more experience changing dirty diapers, which I didn't have before. But all that aside, what I got to do first of all is thank my wife, Mary, for putting this together. If you see that, that is our new logo, new rock and rolling logo. So I want to thank her personally for doing that for us. And
Thank you.
Let's talk some football.
Well, what's going on with the man on the boards? What's going on with Devil John?
Yeah, it was a long week.
My week flew by.
Yeah, it seemed it went by quick, but in the field of work that I work in, it's always kind of taxating on your psyche. So, but I'm glad to be here. And not only that, I was so engulfed into the draft last night.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about round 1, but Sean, who's gone off in round 2 now?
So far, the Browns have taken. Who did they take? They took
Ogba, right?
Ogba.
Yeah, defensive end, Emmanuel Ogba.
The Titans have taken defensive end Kevin Dodd out of Clemson, and the Cowboys took Notre Dame linebacker Jalen Smith. So Jalen Smith has gone off the board to the Cowboys of all teams.
Yeah, the Cowboys are getting stacked. Let's start there. There's so much to talk about. We will get to Tunsil, but let's talk about Ezekiel Elliott going with the 4th overall pick? Yeah, Joey Bosa was number 3. So
first of all, let's talk about how he, and I know you guys are going to like this, but those memes that go around, hold up, we them boys, and the
the two kissing
Cowboys. Two Cowboys,
yeah, and it's the, and then
you can see that at NFL Warzone on Facebook.
Yep, and and you can also check out Ezekiel Elliott's fine attire that he chose to wear, a cropped
button-down belly shirt.
Yeah,
I don't know what was up with that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the football player. All right. Now, Ezekiel Elliott, there's a lot of Adrian Peterson comparisons being thrown around. All right. So we'll see what happens. But, I mean, he's running behind that offensive line. That alone, absolute best team he could have gone to, the Dallas Cowboys. As a Giants fan, I know the Dallas Cowboys have the best offensive line in the league, bar none.
And
I don't like it.
As an Eagles fan, and I hate saying this too, do they have the best 1-2 punch in football now with Alfred Morris and Ezekiel Elliott?
Maybe.
In football, no, I wouldn't say that.
Alfred Morris will be a good third-round back, but he's probably going to take the load.
Tandem,
and
you can't say a rookie.
And Darren McFadden.
Yeah, but you can't say a rookie and Morris on the slope that he's been going are the best combo in the league, especially as a rookie. Because, I mean, there's been plenty of rookies.
That line, though,
yes,
man.
exactly. Yeah, well, maybe then. Maybe, okay. But just because they get the most yards, I'm not going to necessarily say that makes them the best. Do you know what I mean? But they haven't gained 1 yard yet, so let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But that line is the best line in football, and now they're shoring up that defense. They got to get somebody to cover Odell Beckham. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jalen Smith, I think last I heard he's making some real progress with that whatever it was he had that was hurt. So and he was projected to be one of the top picks in the draft, and now he's going
do you mean
3rd overall in the 2nd round?
Do you mean so 34th overall?
34th, yeah. Well, yeah. 34th pick, 3rd overall in the second round.
But now you're talking about people falling because of injury. One name I didn't hear you call yet. Miles Jack still hasn't been drafted?
Miles Jack still has not been drafted.
Whew.
Hey, well, the San Diego Chargers have a pick coming in.
The pick's in, but it's not announced yet?
The pick's not in,
all right,
but it's not announced
we're
yet.
We're going to be following every pick as it goes on in the second round. We're going to be updating you as they come in.
And we'll also be recapping last night.
Right.
But so Miles Jack.
It's a lot of draft time stuff.
Miles Jack now. Okay, so the knee. Same injury as Todd Gurley. Everybody saw Todd Gurley, completely act like nothing was ever wrong last year, okay? So they were saying Miles Jack should be able to do the same thing, but with those second medical checks, it's coming out that the cartilage is in his knee is not generating at the rate people think it should be. Therefore, that means down the road, he would need microfracture surgery. They're saying before his first contract was up. Now, it seemed like the Giants had him completely off the board, and some people are saying that the Giants think he'll need surgery in as soon as 3 years, and there's no way they would pick him.
Right.
So, how far will Jack fall? Now I'm starting to think I don't care. Like if I'm coming up in a pick, I'm like, take Jack. Do you know what I mean? He is the best overall player on the board, without a doubt. So you're kind of getting him for a steal now. How far is he going to fall? Let's see what happens.
I wish
Do
the
you know
Eagles
what I
had
mean?
a second-round pick because
That's what I'm
I would
saying,
like
like-
to nab him if we could, but we don't have
Exactly.
that second-round pick.
It's smart not to take him with the first round. I didn't think he would fall out of the first round. I had
Neither
him
did
going
I.
top 10.
So
You
did
know
I.
what I mean?
So did I.
But, okay, I can understand not taking him in the first round. But when you're getting over by the Giants pick, you know what I mean? Like, how could you not? It's not like it's a career-ending injury. Do you know what I mean? He gets off-season surgery in his third year.
Yeah,
but like, what if? But if he's that good, if he's as good as everybody says it is, like
the farther
Brady missed a year, like
the farther he drops, the
better
lower
deal it is.
risk, higher reward you
Yes,
get because it's
yes.
more of a value pick then.
But talking about people falling, biggest story of the draft by far, Laramie Tunsil just plummeting down draft boards moments before the draft. On his Twitter account, the video surfaces of him hitting the bong with the gas mask. All right? So, not a great look. And then Mayock starts trashing him. He's like, well, Laramie Tunsil's got a picture. And like, but then he and Rappaport came out and they were saying his thing got hacked. And then it all started making more sense. Like his stepfather who's suing him that he got arrested in the domestic abuse with is trying to, tarnish his reputation.
Did Tunsil
And
come
then-
out and say that was him?
No. Dion, put him right on blast on the stage. So what happened, man? It was your stepfather, and he's like, nah, I'm not pointing the finger at anybody.
No, I'm saying but Tunsil admitted that was him in the photo, right? Or in
Yeah,
the video.
the video, yeah.
Okay.
But it's supposedly from like 5 years ago, though. it
Yeah,
says.
something about when he was in high school or something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
then but to make matters worse, then his Instagram comes out.
Yeah,
And,
it was a picture
it was
of
like a screenshot
It
or
was a
something?
screenshot of him texting with his assistant athletic director at Ole Miss. Something about him paying his mom's
Electric
bill and rent or something like that. So someone has it out for Laramie Tunsil. I
Well, it
guess.
sounds like his stepfather, but then when he's on the podium, he gets asked flat out, says yes. Now that's not going to have any repercussions on him, but it will on the school.
It was a good pick for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, but yes, I completely agree. I
Good
can
old Ole
believe
Miss, where your boy
Yeah,
Eli came from.
Well, Eli-
and the father.
Eli, highest player ever taken out of Ole Miss. Archie, second highest. What's his
Okay.
name? The 49er, third highest. And now Laramie Tunsil is the fourth highest ever drafted player out of Ole Miss. But, I mean, now he comes out and he says, yes, that's true. I guess he's trying to be honest. It's still not a good look. And then
really.
this whole he had an allergic reaction thing
Yeah, as soon as
and
he got
couldn't
to-
attend
as soon as he
the
got to
news
Florida.
conference. And I mean, this whole situation is just getting really strange. Has anybody ever had a rockier road coming into the NFL as a first round draft pick?
I don't know, but
Yeah, I
just
don't
Well,
the,
the murder last year. I mean, which he had nothing to do with, but just he got questions, undrafted free agent, goes to
hold on.
Dallas.
Wasn't Reggie Bush in the U?
Well, yeah, that was more like
that was later though, right?
yeah, but we're talking about the dude's Twitter getting. I mean, they got Reggie Bush.
This
that was
much
all
like coming
NCAA.
out. Yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
know.
Like with the whole weed
Other than
thing.
Johnny Manziel was the closest.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that night, just the way it unfolded, it was pure reality television drama. Just watching and getting the stories piece by piece, and they're showing his face. And Rappaport saying the Giants have completely taken him off the board. The Bucks will not touch him. Do you know what I mean? And they're just panning to his face, and
Yeah.
it's like the tears in his eyes. So now he ends up going to Miami, right? So first of all, Miami's getting a steal. Then on top of that, what's going on?
I'm gonna have to cut you guys off because I got some updates from the draft. There was a trade in picks, okay,
Uh-oh.
between the Jaguars and the Ravens. The Ravens
6-5.
Yep, 36 and the 38th pick were swapped. So the Jaguars chose out of UCLA.
Miles Jack.
Jack finally
Just
off the
got him.
board.
Yeah, so we were talking and we were like, I don't know. And then I was like, oh man, this is a perfect segue, huh? Let me just hold on. Let me bite my
The
tongue.
Jaguars are getting a steal
They're-
right here.
They're
Let's be
shoring
real.
up that defense too after taking Ramsey yesterday.
Correct.
Jalen Ramsey, Miles Jack. Look at that defense. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
Jaguars
I'm
are
saying.
coming
I mean,
back.
that's young. The whole team's young. The Jaguars have always been young, it seems like, and that's been a problem.
It's kind of
But
funny
now that they
because
have a
now the
foundation
other
to build
team that
on.
came in with the Panthers are starting to look like them, them up and coming.
Yeah.
you know.
I've been
It's
saying
about
that.
time.
I've been saying that for a year or two. That like the Jaguars.
Since they got Borders.
Since
Since the day,
even-
they got
I think
Bortles.
even a little bit before that,
Blakey.
I can't remember exactly, but I've been saying for at least a year that the Jaguars are building something. Like they're not there yet, and they're probably not going to be there for another year or two, maybe even more. Who knows? But they are actually building something down there in Jacksonville for the, like.
Yeah, they got
I'll
some
say maybe
things.
the second time in their entire existence. They had that one playoff run with Fred Taylor and who was the quarterback, like Mark Brunell back then. And,
Yeah, Mark Brunell.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, man, I
mean,
really
they've been around
enjoyed
for
I
almost-
remember
Brunell.
Mark Brunell.
They've
Yeah.
been around for almost 20 years, but they're actually finally building something
they've been
down
around
there
for
in
But,
Jacksonville.
25 now.
But
haven't they?
also,
25 now.
I just wanted to let you guys know also the fourth round, the fourth pick in the round for the Chargers was the 35th pick. They went with the 6'5" tight end out of Arkansas, Mr. Henry Hunter.
Henry Hunter. I didn't do too much work on Henry Hunter, to be honest.
Hunter Henry, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't do too much work on him. But I mean, second round tight end. Still, some people are going to view that as a reach. But how tall was he?
6'5", dude.
Right.
6'5", 250 pounds. That's
Now,
why when I seen, I was
see
like,
if you can find maybe
because
his draft profile.
his draft grade was a 6.2 overall, and he's, they need that hole fix from Antonio Gates, and like I said before, the Chargers are, they're kind of declining with the
Yes.
quarterback
Yeah, they are.
situation.
They
So and especially with protection of him. So there's going to be a lot of dump passes. A 6'5" dude's going to be able to freaking move and get
Yep.
that ball.
Absolutely.
But he's 205, so he's probably going to be, he could, he's almost kind of like a Devin Funchess in a sense that
He's the heir
he
to
could-
Gates'
he could-
throne.
He's that hybrid tight end wide receiver.
Yeah, he's the heir to Gates' throne. But can he
Exactly.
block like
Can
Gates
he,
can?
can he block?
Well, we'll see.
About to say.
Only
I mean, he's got
If
the
you're a hy-
frame for it.
But
does he have?
If you're a
does
hybrid,
he
you
have
got
the
to be able to block.
personality for
You
it?
got to you able to block and catch passes too.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll have to see. But
Yeah.
at 6'5", I think he stands a good chance.
Now let's slow things down here. We're bouncing around a lot. We're gonna finish up on Laramie
I
Tunsil.
know.
Got a
I'm
little
sorry,
bit more.
but
No, that's how it's gonna be.
This is right
Yes.
This is right my speed though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
This is how the show's
Welcome
gonna go.
to my
we're-
But we
brain.
gotta
We're
we
right in
gotta
the middle of the draft, so
we gotta slow
Yeah,
things
it's a
down
lot.
real quick, and we gotta tell everybody to check out our friends at reputationresolve.com. Now,
Reputation resolve.
Rep is an all-in-one software that will help your online business grow. It'll get you 5-star ratings and comments. If you guys want to take your business to the next level, you need to go to solutions.reputationresolve.com.
That's
solutions.reputationresolve.com. Now, Laramie Tunsil getting picked up, 13th overall pick, going to Miami. Now that
Lucky
he's in
13
Miami,
though.
one thing he's going to be doing, Marino. One thing he's going to be doing.
Well, it's not so lucky 13 for him.
Well, maybe though. But one thing.
What do you mean maybe though? He didn't get no ring.
No,
he's still one of
I
the
mean,
best quarterbacks
yeah.
of all time.
Still one of the
He's
best
never won a ring though.
unhardwared quarterbacks of all time.
True.
But with Tunsil, he's with. I'm
Sorry,
trying to
yeah,
look
with the
for his
13th
there.
pick, yeah.
Yeah. What was I?
Yeah.
Oh, with him being at Miami,
Yeah.
like he's gonna want to play for that team now. He's gonna be like, this team drafted me, this team wanted me, this team believed in me, and they're really gonna
nobody
get his
else
And
heart.
it's really not
Nobody
that
else
far
did.
of a
They're
drive.
really going to get his heart. But now, here's the other thing, though. Now, even though it's an old pitcher with the weed and everything, it's going to be looked at. And then, getting the money, but he's paying his mom bill, but it's still breaking the rules. Now, Miami has a pretty dysfunctional locker room as it is.
Oh yeah,
Then
they got
on
the
top of
Dominican
that-
Sue.
Then on top of that, putting him in South Beach. Do you know what I'm saying? Like after Now I don't know
It's
the
gonna
type of
be
person
like the
he is.
new Vice City.
I don't know the type of person he is, but the type of person
With Larry
he's being
Tunsil.
depicted as, him hanging out in South Beach.
gas mask.
Is-
Pass me my keys, my Porsche. I'm going out.
Is he gonna practice the playbook after practice, or is he gonna go to the beach
Is he gonna
and
be
roll a blunt and get
taking
some,
part in
get
extracurricular
some little
activities?
mommies?
I was
you know what
actually,
mean?
I was
Honestly,
actually
I
about
think-
to ask that question. Like, how far does Laramie Tunsil's background does it follow with him? Through high school or whatever, college into the pros.
It depends on what happens from here on out.
Well, the
That's
Ravens
what it
passed on him, and
completely
they needed an
depends on.
offensive tackle.
Yes.
Oh
Well, I mean, the Ravens passed on him. The Bears, Tampa, Giants.
The Ravens
like,
took Ronnie Stanley. Like they passed on Tunsil
And the Titans traded up.
and took another tackle instead.
The Titans trade back up. Now, can you find out the details on the Titans trade into number 8?
See which I'll cover this area because it
All right,
was
John's got it.
It was one of my 3 correct top 10 picks. All right, I knew
My top 10 was so bad.
I
last
knew
night.
Conklin was going at 8. Now everything else other than
But
the 1
go
and
into
2.
what about the different team though?
No. Well, see, I count the person.
Okay, all right, close enough. Yeah, I got you.
Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Oh man.
But see, I started drafting. I had all the linemen go into the right team.
Yeah.
No, all the correct team I said was going to get a lineman, but they got a different player because I had Tunsil going first. Do you know
Correct.
what I mean? And then I think I had Conklin before Stanley. But I mean, so this pick, with the Titans trading back up to grab the lineman. Now, who do they grab? Conklin, right? The
Yeah,
Titans
they
grabbed
grabbed-
Conklin.
yeah,
What did they have to
6'6",
give up?
309.
What did they have to give up to get him? Because the Titans originally held the first overall pick, traded back with LA to 15, then moved from 15 to 8 to grab Conklin. What did it cost them?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm seeing a lot of info about the actual player itself in a few of these articles. I'm not.
Yeah, a
seeing
lot of
that.
them, they don't
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
say.
they're not really.
All right, well, Sean, can you bring up the draft
chart?
chart? Let's bring up the draft chart and see what it may have costed about. So what
they
was the move? It was from
They-
15 to
15
8.
to 8. So
What's the difference in points?
So you got 1,000. You got 1,050 at 15, and then at 8 you got 1,400. So that's 350 points.
So what's valued at 350 points on that chart? Do you see anything? What is it, like a second rounder somewhere? How far down? What we're looking at here.
You're
You
looking at a second rounder at
at what pick?
55.
All right, so maybe your
Probably
second
a-
rounder,
probably a
or
second
like a
rounder.
third and a 7. Or like a third
Something
and a
like
7
that,
would
yeah.
do it. All right, what we're looking at here is the draft chart that Jimmy Johnson designed. Now, I mentioned some of this stuff on sportsrants.com. I got a bunch of new articles up there being draft season. I
Oh
think I
yeah,
got
man! You
4
influxed my news feed. I was like, "Dang, dog, you went right happy.
Yeah,
Good for you."
They got rough. But, so check them all out at Sports Rants. But what we're looking at is Jimmy Johnson's chart that he came up with when he orchestrated the Herschel Walker trade. Now, after Landry, Jerry Jones bought the team. Then he fired Landry, hired his college friend in Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
And the Cowboys were the laughing
From
stock of the
the
league.
U.
Now, Michael Irvin was already a Cowboy, and Michael Irvin went to Jimmy Johnson and said there's only about 2 people that deserve to be on this team. Jimmy Johnson, goes with it, sells off Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker does nothing ever again. Jimmy Johnson builds the whole dynasty, builds the Great Wall of Dallas, and he made that trade based off this chart. And this is still a general guideline of what people use to move up and move down to put numerical value on picks. And with the difference of the picks making it up to move up.
So it's likely that what the Titans did is traded a second round pick to Cleveland for that 15th overall
No, they didn't trade it to Cleveland. What are you trying to say here?
they traded up to 15 to get
No,
they
went
they traded it up to
yes.
8 to with Cleveland. They traded with Cleveland to get that 8th overall pick.
And now there's rumors that Cleveland they're still looking to trade back. Even their
they've
other
been,
picks.
they
Now it's
traded.
getting a little ridiculous. What is the point?
I don't know. The Browns are all over the place. They had the 8th over, or they had the 2nd over pick. They traded that to the Eagles. They had the 8th pick, and they traded that to Tennessee. So the Browns are just kind of all over the place.
And now
right
they're
now.
openly. Now think about this too. Now the draft, when it used to be one day. Now we're sitting here breaking down round 1 like this. You could never do this because the picks were just coming and coming and coming into round 2. So now it's easier to deal the picks in round 2 because you got 18 hours in between when the first round ends and the second round starts.
Yeah, and you got 10 minutes to
give you guys
work out
an
something on
update
the
here,
phones in the war room there.
Yeah, but I'm saying before that, just like day 1, you know. But
well,
what do
you
got,
still
John?
got that time too.
The 37th pick, the Chiefs went with Chris Jones out of Mississippi State.
John's getting
the
all these
defensive
updates.
tackle.
I'm not getting anything right now.
Hey man, that's why I'm on the board.
Yeah, John's on top. John is on top of this. I am not.
I'm on the boards for some reason. Thanks, guys. Thanks for trusting me.
You're welcome.
In John we trust.
In John, no. Let's not go that route because people will start freaking sending wonderful hate mails and things like that and starting. Hashtags that we don't like, but you can hashtag
Die Bedlam.
But
This podcast is awful.
This podcast is awful. You want to get an iTunes review? Here you go, buddy. No, but seriously, give us an iTunes review.
All right, well, let's. I can give you a great review of DirecTV because I have it in my house. All right, and I have the Sunday ticket.
I'm getting mine, though.
If
Yeah.
you guys want to get
missed
set
it.
up with DirecTV, give them a call at 855-668-9061. Now, you're not just getting the Sunday ticket with DirecTV. You're getting you get the whole sports package. I'm talking NBCSN,
they
Fox
usually have
Sports
nice
1, 2, 3, 4,
bundles,
5,
too.
6, 7.
Like
Do you
for
know what I mean?
signing up, they usually have nice bundles where you get the DVR and all
Oh,
that
yeah,
good
at a
stuff,
Genie.
you
So
know.
make sure you hit up DirecTV, 855-668-9061. Now, let's talk about
Customize a package for you that works for you, but make sure if you're a football fan, you get that Sunday ticket, man. If you're not having the Sunday NFL ticket, then you're not really experiencing football.
All right, but let's take a look at the quarterbacks. Now, they went as predicted, which means John, doesn't have to get hit.
Oh
Because
yeah,
John put his manhood basically on the line.
I was so sure.
With Goffer Wentz first.
Yeah,
and he did
because,
pick correctly.
Yeah. Oh man.
So he may have kids one day. Because I wear Doc Martens. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I
Steel
was.
toe.
I put the timer on to when it was 15 minutes to the draft, and then once I saw Goff go off the board, I was like, ah! So the sound.
Even my wife was like, "Oh man."
I know. So sorry, guys. Maybe I will
We had a whole
sacrifice
text
my
thread going
manhood
on.
again. In another challenge or something. But only when it's sure or when I feel like it's sure.
But let's talk about the quarterback in Paxton Lynch. Now, Paxton Lynch, we were connecting his
John's
name to
got that.
Denver.
They
a
lost
lot.
a lot of stuff moving up though.
Well, I mean, Elway has that defense. This is a perfect team for a quarterback to walk into, just like the Cowboys are a perfect team for a running back to walk into. Now, he is viewed as more of a project, but
That defense will help him out.
exactly. And is he gonna if Mark Sanchez starts, so be it.
So-
Let Mark Sanchez start for 8 games or the year, and let him come in.
Okay.
You just won a Super Bowl. He might be all right. He could be Eli Manning when the Giants were 6-2 and ended 7-9 once Eli came in.
But
His rookie year.
Just
Who
to let
knows?
you
But
know
then
what
he
they
won 2
gave
Super
up.
Bowls.
They
Do you know what I
gave
mean?
up. Okay, they gave up their 31st pick and their 94th pick in order to move up to that spot.
So 2 top. Wait, they're first.
So
So it was a third round pick.
a third round and
their first round.
and their
and they
31st pick.
And they
So-
don't. Did they have a second to begin with? Why am I thinking they didn't have? They don't have
I
a
don't know.
second.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what they did.
Can you see what picks Denver has left? Can you see if they have a second pick? You can go with new.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
or unless you
I
have
have
it.
the draft board
All
right
right.
now. And the Broncos
Do they
in
have a
this
second round pick?
round do not. No.
Okay, so they would get rid of. So they basically got rid of all their top 100 picks.
Correct. to get him.
Well,
Okay.
good luck to Denver. I
Yeah.
guess.
Because we're getting by the end of this, this round, we're going through 63 players. Wow, that's a lot of people. I'm like, wow, we covered a lot of people here,
Well,
guys.
it's 2 rounds tonight also, so it's not
They're
just one
doing
round.
they're doing 2 and 3. Dang.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I didn't read that. See, guys, I should have read a little bit more. See, I was too busy doing my homework on other things and stuff, and making sure that I did my homework on the Panthers and our good choices in defense.
Well, why don't you tell us about your good choices in defense?
Well, I don't want to brag here, because that Louisiana Tech boy, Vernon, he's a monster.
He's a monster, is he? Why is
And
that?
not only that, because first of all, did you see any video on this guy? He's like when he came out to pull his jersey, he looked like seriously like Sprout from like the Jolly Green Giant. Because not quite like compared to Roger Goodell, which if I'm not mistaken, he's a pretty tall
Yo,
man
he got
himself.
booed every single
single
time.
time.
I loved it. He'd walk
Well,
out.
actually-
he just started
actually,
saying like, "All right, already."
You know what I noticed though in like the middle of the first round, it seemed like maybe people were starting to get tired of booing him. But then like there would be like a commercial break or something, and then right after that, the boos would start raining down.
But they
again.
didn't boo when the kids' football team or baseball team, that kids' team came out to the children's team, the youth team, to make the pick for the
I
Bears.
might have missed that. I passed
Yeah.
out last
That
night.
was
the
Late
Bears
first
pick.
round.
But no, this was early first
Oh,
round.
well then I was probably changing my kid's diaper or something.
okay. I had my wife
Because
doing that.
I missed that. Yeah. Well,
But yeah, so then they went to boo, and he came out like kind of laughing, like, "Ha, ain't booing now, are you?"
So just to give you guys some
Everybody
stats
hates
on this
Goodell.
guy, just to kind of give it, a
Hashtag
mental
Goodell must
picture. But Vernon Butler, he came out of Louisiana Tech, and he was 6'4", 323. His arm length, which is important, 35,
Especially
and
for
an
a
eighth,
defensive end.
35 and
defensive
an
end.
eighth, and his hands are 10 3/4.
10 3/4.
Yeah, 3/4. Sorry,
All right, so that's it's the same
or
thing.
3/4.
No,
yeah,
it's the same
no,
thing.
just
I
like
was just
3/4.
saying, yeah.
Yeah,
But
sorry.
but now with that,
But
that's
his
good
pro
'cause-
here's his pro day. I'm sorry. 40-yard dash, 5.15 seconds. Vertical 33.5 inches, and his broad jump was 9 feet 3 inches. So his explosiveness and his ability to move is ridiculous.
now he can win a lot of reach battles.
Yeah.
So I mean that's gonna assist him. Now I mean I don't really do they have like his 3-cone time or anything like that? Because I don't really care about his 40. That's
His
kind of
3-cone
slow,
time
Like,
was 7.82,
that's pretty deep. I mean that's not great, but
and the 20-yard shuttle was 4.76.
oh well that's nice.
So
Yeah.
like I said, he's got that explosiveness and he's quick, and especially now with Starr going into his 5th-year option, it gives us another year to bring somebody else in on that line as well to keep that pressure going. Because right now, we're going back to almost where the Panthers were before with no-name cornerbacks, but it didn't matter because we were punching you in the face.
that defensive front is really where it all starts.
K1 Short.
Yeah, exactly. And now
No, Luke Kuechly is where it all starts.
Yo,
Let's be real, though.
he's just all over the field. You can't put the ball
He's your
anywhere where
LT.
he's not going.
He's your LT.
Oh yeah, and if we
But
ever
it starts in the trenches though. Like that.
Oh, absolutely,
That front
absolutely.
7 is really
Yes.
is really where everything starts on
Yeah.
on a defensive snap. You know
so
what I mean?
when
How much does Peanut Tillman have left in the tank?
who Tom?
Yeah.
I think he's done now because he's not on our team.
Oh
anymore.
yeah, absolutely.
He's done. Maybe he.
No,
may
he
come
is
back.
done. No, he's done.
Yeah, because I thought he retired. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but which brings up the point that we need to in this second round hopefully get some decent help in that secondary. Hopefully find that next Josh Norman, and hopefully not build him up to the point that his head can't fit through the door frame. But Yeah, man, the recent picks, I'm sure everybody's trying
Seen the
to
draft, but we're breaking it down
watching
again.
it, but there's some people that are that don't watch it, but they actually come to us because we are so informative. So with that being said, we got a few updates that I'm going to.
I was about
let
to
it
ask
go.
you, we got anything else?
Well, the Bills have their pick coming in, and it's the 10th in the round. And right
Who
now,
picked before them though? Where did
Yeah,
the
we
picks
got.
right
There
before
has to
them?
be a couple picks before that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I gotta fill y'all in. All right, here we go. I got to. Oh, come on. Now my Apple device. Thank you, Apple. All right, see, yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
no
now-
subliminal promotion on this show. You
Hey.
want to advertise? You hit us up.
I don't think
staff at
there wasn't much of a
voiceofbedlam.com.
promotion though. That was kind of like a demotion.
It's subliminal. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess all press is good press though.
Yeah.
All press is good press. Now it's good. Okay. All right. Now we have. I know I left off with the Chiefs selecting Chris Jones. So the Dolphins, with the 38th pick, which they received it from the Ravens via the Jaguars. They grabbed Xavier Howard, the cornerback out of Baylor,
Now-
and.
Oh, God.
Then the 39th pick, the Buccaneers went with Noah Spence
Noah
out
Spence
of
off the
Eastern
board.
Kentucky. So then that leaves the 40th pick, the Giants. They went with Sterling Shepard out of Oklahoma, wide receiver.
Well, now they got another partner for a lot of people saw this coming. They got another partner for Odell Beckham in case Cruz doesn't come back. Do you know what I mean? They have another
5'10",
young wide
5'10",
receiver,
194.
another short wide receiver.
He kind of looks like a Steve Young. I mean, Steve Smith, sorry.
I was
Steve
gonna say-
Smith.
yeah, I was hearing that a lot too. Steve
Yeah, he
Smith,
looks like
yes.
Steve Smith.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
and,
a good-
and then I'm looking at some of his stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, all right. And then I remember seeing a
Sean,
few.
see where he was on my Mayock's top players left. Okay.
Yeah, because he looks like he's gonna be the next Steve Smith. Yeah, he looks, and he kind of looks like him too, honestly.
Kind of looks like. him,
What's
too.
his name?
His name is Sterling Shepard,
So, because we got Mayock's
wide
top
receiver
50.
out of
So-
Oklahoma. 5'10", so he's
5'10", a smaller guy. So
I know
the
yeah,
Giants
that's my
like the
height.
smaller wide
Mike
receivers.
Mayock had him at number 15 still left on the board, so not all that high, but
So
I mean the Giants needed another guy on the outside, I guess, right?
Speaking of,
How does this
you know,
playing with your boy
Cruz?
No, Dwayne Harris. Like,
Well, Dwayne Harris, they really want him to
My-
be more of a special teamers, and he would be a slot guy anyway. So let's
Slot
say
guy?
Cruz,
All right.
let's say Cruz can't come back.
So-
Dwayne,
so Cruz
he
has
could-
got to really he's got to play then. He's
Well,
gotta,
Cruz says he's 100%.
the 31st
But I mean
pick
he's
is in,
got to
guys.
prove that he's gonna get
Yep.
a spot on the field.
Oh
then.
yeah, Cruz might not make the team. That is a
Right.
very big
Yeah.
possibility.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because now he's gonna have some competition.
Yeah.
But with the 44th pick, yeah. See, there you go. Now I can talk right now. With the 41st pick, the who acquired their pick position from the Bears, chose Reggie Ragland, the inside linebacker out of
Ooh,
Alabama.
Reggie Ragland. Now
Mike
he was
Mayock-
high. He had him
Mike
what? 2 or
Mayock had
something?
him at number 4.
4? Okay.
Okay, so
Although I don't take Mike Mayock, I don't take his opinion too seriously because he was
Yeah.
really high on Johnny Manziel too. So,
but
take that
now
with a grain of
the
salt.
Ravens are up on the board, so and their pick is coming in. It just hasn't been.
All right, but I want to
updated
kick things back over to the Giants, and I want to talk about Eli Apple.
Yeah,
Now,
let's talk about
Giants
Eli
fans-
Apple, and now let's talk about well, you already talked about
all right.
Sterling
Well, then
Shepard
I
want to
talk about
so
Carson Wentz then too.
Well, hold on. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
let's
get there.
do it.
We'll get there. All right. Now, Eli Apple.
the D2 princess.
He's not D2. What are you talking? Oh, over there. Yeah, I was like, we Ohio State, buddy. He's a champion. He was the third Buckeye
champion.
taken. He was the third Buckeye taken after Bosa and Zeke went 3 and 4. Bosa first. Bosa going to the Chargers, Zeke going to the Cowboys, as we've talked about. Now, there's a lot of mixed reviews on him. A lot of people are not happy with the pick. Knew that as soon as it came in. I'm sitting there. I'm watching this thing with
Gruden
my
didn't
wife.
like your guys'
I'm looking
pick
at
at
it.
all.
I'm looking at it, and you got
I'm sitting
Rappaport
there
coming
talking
on
crap to Andrew like Gruden doesn't like
Five
the pick, man. He says
Ohio
he sucks.
State players went
in the first round.
guys.
Yeah.
That's
Five.
crazy.
It's crazy.
Ian Rappaport comes on saying the Giants have completely taken Tunsil off the board. They've completely taken Jack off the board. So that leaves them with like Hargraves as a big name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they didn't take him.
And they pass on Hargraves and go Apple. Now, I liked Apple a lot, and I don't hate it. I would have liked if they could have traded back.
So if
for it,
Apple's not a lemon.
But I would have liked if Apple.
I like Fuji apple.
If they could have traded back for Apple, but if they need a partner to do that with, and look at what the Giants were. They were really dealt a crappy hand. I mean, the two teams. Everybody was saying the high guys on their board being Conklin and the linebacker Leonard Floyd. Two teams traded up the 2 picks right before them and grabbed them.
Yeah,
And then they had the
Bears.
other 2 guys off their board. So they went with Eli Apple. They must view him as higher than Hargraves. A lot of people are going to have it. A lot of people say he's more of a man guy, but then some people say he's great at a lot of people say he's more of a coverage guy, but some people say he's like a mirror. He sticks to people like glue. Now, from what I've seen, I agree. And I thought he was going to go to the Colts. I thought he'd be like the mid-teens. But you know what? If that was the best guy the Giants thought they had out there, they could use him. He's not going to be baptized by fire. They got Janoris Jenkins and DRC. So it's not like, see, I like that. I don't think the first round
You
pick
think he ends up being
has to
like
start day one.
like a slot corner or something?
Well, he's really more of an outside guy, but I guess so. Do you know what I mean?
If he
Like,
finds
he's-
his- if he finds his place-
6'1", 200 pounds.
If he finds his place on
so
the
he's
field
a,
first year,
he's a pretty
He's a big
big
guy.
boy,
He's the
you
new
know?
kid. He's supposed to be on the outside, but he's got to earn that. Do you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
So just because he's the top pick, and if he is good,
DRC,
they might have him
DRC
come
is
on.
kind of old.
You
so
got to remember too.
maybe-
Like, there's a lot of nickel.
may-
So you know.
Yeah. Well, maybe Apple ends up earning his spot out there on the outside because DRC is
Injury prone.
He's injury prone and he's old too.
Yeah, if I can quote your Mr. Mayock
He's
on
not
your
my
boy,
Mr.
on your
He's
boy.
not my Mr. Mayock.
Well, you-
Yeah, I'm not obsessed with
I-
that. I don't.
well,
don't-
I kept
I'm the one
hearing
who always
this-
says the Johnny Manziel thing.
I just kept hearing the man's name over and over, and I'm
well,
like,
he's
come
like
on.
the draft guy nowadays.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's
He's the
bigger
draft
than
guy? I thought
Kuiper.
He's very,
Fabiano
very highly
was.
Nah,
regarded.
no, Mayock is.
No,
Mayock's the
Mayock?
draft guy.
Oh, all right. Well, his quote that he said about Eli Apple was
I have
that
this in my
his
article.
tape is up and down. He's tall, fast, and physical,
All sounds good right there.
but inconsistent, and it's all because of a lack of reps.
This
That's
kid's
the-
not even 21.
that's the
He's out of
same
high
thing.
school
End
for
of quote.
3 years.
I think that was the same thing Gruden was saying last
Yes,
night.
he's out of high school for 3 years.
3
he does
years.
not know how to cook, they're saying. He doesn't know how to write a check or something like that. They're trashing him. But I don't care. I have no problem with youth. We have established veterans in that locker room that can teach him how to be a pro. All right? Now come on. That sounds great to me. The only thing is, but I like this, all of our corners are gamblers. He likes to attack the ball. All right? So does DRC and so does Jenkins. Now, I like that, but you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Do you know what I mean? So it could go either way.
I hate the
but-
Giants, so
I know
screw
you
him
do.
either way.
All right. But guys, check out my article called Eli Apple Lands in the Big Apple on sportsrants.com.
You
it
really tried
Check it
hard
out.
on that one. I'm sorry. Like you really tried hard on that one.
Dude, it was very punny.
I would have gone with like Eli and the Big Apple.
Blah, 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 blah. You know what? If you guys want to go to the Big Apple, you can hit up Ticket Software LLC at 866-853-3454. Now, they have 83,000 worldwide events. We're talking
Yep.
sports. You could have got tickets to the draft, one of those
Concerts.
great draft parties. I've been to
Opera.
the Giants draft party, walking on that field, kicking field goals, hanging out with players. Awesome time. Awesome time. Beer a little expensive. That is where I got this jersey at the draft party. You can get tickets to them from Ticket Software LLC at 866-853-3454. What is going on in the draft, John?
What's going on? Well, there's a few people off the board now. You know, we obviously discussed that Reggie, if you didn't hear me, Reggie
Ragland's
Ragland
off.
came off to the Bills. And now Kamale Korea, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know
the
that name.
defensive end out of Boise State
Defensive end
went
out of
to
Boise
the
State.
Ravens.
Okay.
So that's
well, the Ravens
the
really
42nd
do.
pick.
The Ravens do kind of really start getting that defense back together.
Well, yeah,
so that
once they
sounds
get
nice.
that in line, though, I think they'll be all right because it seems like on the offensive side of the ball, they have a bunch of older, talent, but they should be able to do something and compete with them. At least the Steelers, because it seems like the Steelers are a heavy favorite in there.
All right, now who is the next quarterback that's going to go, Sean?
Cook.
You believe Cook?
Cook.
Now, are the Niners going to grab him? Are the Jets going to grab him? Are the Bills going to grab him?
There's still
My
there's still
question
teams
is-
there that need a quarterback.
Exactly. So who's going to grab him? And what's the?
But
who's-
there's
who's
so
the
much
other
other
quarterback?
talent.
There's
out
also
there
Christian
that's-
Hackenberg too.
And then maybe Dak Prescott after that. I hear there's 22 quarterbacks left. So where are some of these guys? Where are the top guys going to go? Who's going to take one first?
I don't.
I'm still surprised Kaepernick hasn't gotten traded.
Well, they're saying that Kaepernick might just get cut, and that is going to cost San
Wow.
Francisco some money, boy.
12 million.
Well, yeah, because now, Denver.
That money
Denver,
is fully guaranteed.
Denver filled up that position that I thought that Colin would have picked up.
Oh, and Elway was like, "Yeah, we're not talking to Kaepernick anymore." Like he made it like we're done with his games.
Yeah, he wanted to play games and peace.
Well, I mean, he's a player under contract. He can't really be playing. Like you know what I mean?
But my question is where's that running back?
The
at
Heisman
Alabama,
Trophy.
Mr.
Seattle.
Derrick Henry going.
Derrick Henry's going to Seattle.
You think
That's where
so?
Derrick Henry's going. Great plug-in for Marshawn Lynch. This kid had a lot of
But
carries.
he's got a lot of teams to go yet before he,
But
there's-
people
Before
are
he gets
scared
back to
off by
Seattle.
his. People are scared off by his carries though, and they're scared off of him just being a Bama running back. you know?
Okay, because I don't know, man. He's got.
Yeah,
got
Bama's
12
not high on that offense.
You got 12 more picks. 11 more picks. So the Titans,
But let's
with
not
the
forget,
43rd
how many
pick, went with Austin Johnson, the nose tackle out of Penn State.
See, yeah, we're going to see a lot of nose tackles coming off the board. And I want to see, not just because his brother plays on the Giants, but playing for Penn State, watching him play here and there, Nassib, the linebacker from Penn State.
Yeah.
Now, I want to see where he's going to go. But we're going to see a lot of defensive tackles getting taken off the board.
Well, a lot
right
of
now.
the talent that they have ranked as like the best available right now are Sean Robinson out of Alabama,
Yep.
Jerron Reed out of Alabama, Cody Whitehair out of Kansas State, Derrick Henry out of Alabama.
It's a very defense-heavy draft class.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Jordan Howard, the running back out of Indiana, then Hassan Ridgeway, Jonathan Bullard, Andrew Billings, and LaRaven Clark out of Texas Tech. So, there's a lot of defense. That's defensive tackle, nose tackle, defensive tackle, running back, offensive guard, defensive tackle. So if you need some defense, I got it down here over here.
We got it
second
for you.
round.
What
We got
y'all
it over
need?
here.
There's all types of positions
What you
left.
need?
Every position is still available
What
in
you
the
need?
draft.
What you need?
What you need? Yo, one time I went into an establishment, right, to get some food. I'm not gonna plug them, obviously, because I know
They
how
don't-
you get about that, and plus we're not getting paid to do that.
They don't get that right.
I know how you get about that.
I know
so
how
we're
you get
not
about
gonna-
that. We ain't gonna do about that. But this place just so happens to sell barbecue food, so you can process that yourself.
Are they a local small business?
I don't know.
Those are the best places to buy food
I will
from.
plead-
If it's a local small business, you could say their name.
Yeah, I
no,
would actually.
No, it wasn't. It was the chain.
Screw them.
Yeah.
Screw them.
But anywho, the one time, okay, that I went there, they told the guy greeted me with, "What you got a taste for today?"
Oh, jeez.
I was like,
Oh, man.
what the heck is going on? Is this like the new salutation, which is kind of
It sounds friendly.
it sounds funny. He's like, "What you got a taste for today?"
But at
Like,
the same time,
you know what I
feel
mean?
like
Like-
this is not what I was expecting when I walked in the
Yeah,
door. Just kind of like
exactly.
usually you're just like, oh, what can I get you? That kind of thing.
It's like, welcome to, insert company and what may I get for you today?
Yeah.
But no, this guy.
I would expect that more from
he
a
went off the
from
cuff.
from a small local business. You know what I mean? That
guess
type
so.
of that type of.
But then again, I
greeting.
guess I applaud his effort to try to break the script at a
There you go.
freaking chain. But it was kind of threw me off. It's like, what you got taste for today?
Let's get back to script and let's talk about Cook. Now, as I said, where's the draft order? Do the Bills and Jets pick back to back again? Because they did in the first round. Do the
No,
Bills?
they do not.
What are the Bills and Jets?
John's
picks?
gonna have to cover
Oh,
that.
okay, the Bills got the 44 first, and the Jets have 51st.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Now
so-
where are we right now?
Right now, we are at the 44th pick, where the Raiders went with Jihad Ward, defensive end out of Illinois.
Where's San Francisco?
San Francisco 49ers do not have a pick left in this
Okay.
round.
So if Cook is to go in this round, do you see anybody else taking him besides the Jets or the Bills? The Bills have Tyrod Taylor, EJ Manuel. They don't like any of them. They're kind of. I mean, I'm not crazy about Tyrod Taylor. I don't think he's some big deal, but like I think they should value him a
He
little
was
bit more
over
than they do.
He was overhyped last
I
year.
like Tyrod Taylor.
think so.
Yeah, I think they should value him more than they do. But
he was
like,
getting the ball to Sammy Watkins, and
Sammy Watkins got to stay on the field. That's what Sammy Watkins needs to do.
hey, when he's on the field, he just
I like
catches the
Tyrod
ball.
Taylor too. I think he was a little overhyped. I think he's kind of overrated. I also
but they
think just-
devalue him
just-
though. I think he's overrated, especially
you know who
because of
else
fantasy.
is really overrated, and this is kind of off topic, but Kirk Cousins I think is the most overrated quarterback in the league.
Well, we're gonna have to find out because he's he's gonna be under.
Kirk Cousins is the most
microscope
overrated
this
quarterback
year.
in the league.
So speaking about the Jets and everything, is Fitzpatrick going to retire? He says he'd rather retire than play for the money the Jets are offering him. Is he going to retire then? Because it doesn't
I don't
look
think
like he's
so.
going
I think
anywhere else.
I think he's just I think he's just
Maybe
either,
he ends up going back to Buffalo or something. Who knows?
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
I don't
About
know
that
either. And yeah, he's gonna. Yeah,
I'm just saying things, really.
get this. Either sit on your couch, sit the pine, real football.
Well, that's basically what he's saying. But do you guys think that with the 41st or 51st pick, one of those two teams will take one of the top two quarterbacks?
Cook or Hackenberg.
Do you
Well,
think
you-
either the
I could
Jets-
probably see
well,
Cook
between
going
then-
before Hackenberg.
But do you think
Cook
the
is-
Jets or Bills will take him or no? You
I
don't think he's going
I
to
could
take
see
him?
Cook going to.
Be-
Wait, who has the higher pick? The Buffalo.
Here, let me
Bills.
let me
Yeah,
fill
I
you
can see
guys in
Cook
on the
going
teams that are
Buffalo
in
and
between
Hackenberg going to
those
the
picks,
Jets.
just so that you guys can think about who would grab a quarterback. Okay, so you got
Well,
the
that's all I can think of. Off
So
the
the
top of my head.
45th Titans,
No.
46 Lions, 47 Saints,
Perhaps.
48 Colts.
Saints.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Saints.
maybe the Saints.
And then you
With
got
a
Drew
very
Brees.
an aging Drew Brees.
Yep. All right, so then you got the Colts, Bears,
Well, hold on. Okay,
Falcons.
Colts, Bears, Falcons, Matty. No,
No, they're
but,
gonna. Matty
no.
Ice ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, but I can see the Saints then in there too.
Yeah,
Because I
so
was going to
could
say,
I.
I don't think Buffalo will take him in the second round. I'm going to say no on Buffalo. I was going to say the Jets do grab him. But with the Saints in front of them,
Do you think?
do
Do
the
you think
Jets?
do you think a second round pick is too much of a reach for either of these quarterbacks?
Yeah,
they
especially
were both projected
the
to go
the
second
Saints can-
or
or-
third round, but you're talking about two teams that need a quarterback.
But you're also forgetting that the Saints were the worst team in defense last year. So especially with
true.
all this talent
Very
out
true.
there, why
Very
would you pass
true
on
on
that
a
defense?
But
Absolutely.
they also got to look to the future for post Drew Brees because
Yeah,
that's gonna
quarterbacks
be,
outweigh
I
everything.
that's
understand,
gonna
but
be
you can
Quarterbacks
grab him
outweigh
in the
everything.
third.
That's going to be well.
But so you might get Hackenberg. Where's their pick in the third? Well, look at the Saints.
Well,
third
let's
pick.
find
Yeah.
out real quick.
And that's
Because
if,
they might be
that's
looking
if
at
the Bills
Hackenberg. 'Cause
or
I
the
think
Jets don't
the
take
Jets.
him.
If the Saints don't, the Jets will. The Jets are going to take him with their second pick.
The
I
Saints
think.
will
That's what I'll
have
put my money on.
the 15th pick of the third, so the 78th pick.
Okay, so I don't think.
So what?
That-
we-
'cause
what it
Buffalo-
really boils down to is what is it Saints' bigger issue for the future? Is it shoring up that defense or is it looking
Well, you
to
gotta
post
start-
Brees?
It's not necessarily the biggest issue. They might be looking at a best
Here's
available
the
player,
thing.
and you have to think about it. They might be like, this can be our next
Sean
guy.
Payton,
Brees
Sean,
is-
Sean
Brees is
Payton
there.
just signed a long-term contract.
Yeah.
He's going to
Yep.
want his
His
guy,
quarterback,
His
that's a
guy.
good point.
But here's the thing.
That's a good
You know
point.
that I think that you guys are also forgetting. If your defense isn't doing its job, right? Your quarterback is going to have to do a lot of work out there to try to keep points going on the board for that team.
But then you're also
and that means he's going to have to put him and compromise his body and put himself into positions that he might not always do in order to try to get those wins because his defense can't keep the points off the board.
But John, at the same time, you're if you don't take a quarterback, the top two quarterbacks that are still left on the board right now.
Brees is not at noodle arms yet.
You're talking about dropping later in the draft, which means that you're taking an even bigger risk on a third or fourth round quarterback, which is more often than not the guy, your franchise guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well-
it's gonna be a tough decision for the Saints what they want to do. Do they want to take the best player available? Do they want to shore up their defense, or do they want to look, post Breeze area because Breeze is what 36 or something like that. Like he's
well,
not going to be playing much longer.
Well, now
and they're probably not going to win anything in that division in the next couple of years.
Well, we'll have to see.
They've been on a team on a steady decline since that Super Bowl.
Yeah, they lost a lot of talent, and not only that, a lot of their talent that stayed, aged. Marcus Colston and there's they have 2 more picks to go yet. The Titans and the Lions ahead of them. So if they're really
neither of them are going to take a quarterback.
Yeah, so they have a good shot at getting that quarterback now, but I don't see them trying to gamble that way because there's too much defensive talent on that board right now. And they need to really address that. Like if they do go with the quarterback right away, that might be one of the bigger surprises in this draft.
Do you think you see that as a mistake then?
Oh yeah, because you're not taking value in the things that are getting the championships these days. The defense has statistically been winning the championships, and if your team was dead last in defense, you have to address that problem because if you had have a decent offense, right, and you have a shitty defense, then you need to address that.
Very true, very true.
Because you can, if you can't keep points off the board, you can't win games.
You're
you
very
can't
right
control
about
the
that.
game,
and they got to compete in that NFC South with Carolina. We're
bringing the defense,
and defense is what's going to win games in football. We know that for a fact that defense wins games. So you're probably right about that. The way I see this playing out though is if they don't draft, like I said before, if they don't draft a quarterback, which still might be a reach. So then you're looking at both those top 2 quarterbacks going off the board. And then you're looking at a 3rd or 4th round pick for your quarterback, and you're talking about a guy that's going to probably sit on the bench for a couple years. Not that Drew Brees is probably not going to retire this year. He might not even retire next year. But you got to look past that because Drew Brees is not going to play forever. Do you know what I mean?
Speaking of teams in decline, I don't want to drag your team completely through the mud, but who are these quarterbacks throwing to next year? Who's your number 1 wide receiver? Because I asked another Eagles fan, this same question, and they kind of just did the same thing that you just did. You're like, I don't know. So you get to share in some of my anguish a little bit because of last season when the Panthers had like the revolving door of nobodies, and the retired somebodies.
If I had Kelvin Benjamin down for a year, I'd be upset too.
Yeah.
And I had the same conversation with my brother because he was all for, and you guys heard it on a podcast last week. Who is Carson Wentz throwing to? You got Nelson Aguilar, who didn't show me all that much last year. He's going to be a second-year player. Nothing has really shown me that he's going to be a star necessarily in this league. There have been talks about Jordan Matthews moving to the outside. I like that. I want to see what Jordan Matthews can do on the outside. He needs to stop dropping the ball. And then with Carson Wentz being taken 2nd overall, the Eagles obviously making that trade and Sam Bradford being all butthurt about it. I could have lived with Sam Bradford.
Well, yeah, because his job, that he just signed a new contract that he was like.
But it wasn't a long-term contract, so he should have known that the Eagles didn't see a future with him. I could have lived with him for this year. But he saw
the prospects of another year of playing.
Well, he doesn't now because he wants to get traded. And I mean, since last week when we had that podcast, I've had a chance to kind of think about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And the way I see it now is Sam Bradford, if you want to keep playing in this league, you're not going to be overthrown, I think, by a rookie or Chase Daniel. So just go out there and play already. And
compete.
And that's the other thing is that his agent came out and said a couple days ago, oh, Sam is a competitor, this, that, and the other thing. I have not seen really anything competitive out of Sam Bradford yet. But he needs to go out and do it. If you want to play in this league, Sam Bradford, go out there, play this year, and make your money somewhere else because the Eagles are not going to keep you long term. That much is obvious. So go out there, play, get traded, go to wherever, and try to make another couple million for yourself and stop crying because you haven't really done anything to say, to warrant this
Speaking
being
of not crying,
butthurt
though,
about getting your job basically, taken away from you while the guy, Carson Wentz, trains under you for the next year. So just go out there, play, and make your money somewhere else because you're not helping anybody by just crying about it.
just to fill you guys in now, the 45th and the 46th pick are in, and they're both out of Alabama. All right, so the Titans with the 45th went with Derrick Henry.
There he goes, 45th pick overall.
So, and then
The Titans.
a
did.
Sean Robinson,
You said the Titans?
a Titans.
So who'd they pick up in free agency? They got a running back in free agency. Who'd they get?
Mr.
Lamar Miller?
Let's see. Let me let you find the
Lamar
name.
Miller.
Mr. Old Cowboy. Old
Lamar Miller.
Eagle.
Who did they take?
DeMarco Murray.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my goodness! How did we forget that he
I'm
went
just
there?
like-
I'm like, come on, the old cowboy, the old Eagle.
All right, so they got DeMarco Murray
And now they
Derrick
have
Henry.
Derrick Henry.
The running game is coming back, dude.
It is. I like it.
Like,
I like
so
it.
do I.
I like it. The running game. I think the running game is actually one of the more exciting parts.
So do I.
Of the game.
I don't need this arena football crap. You know what I mean?
Watching a dude break a couple tackles and turn a loss into a game, which is why I loved watching LaShawn McCoy because he was so shifty. He could make a 3-yard loss turn into a 10-yard gain. That's why I loved watching Shady McCoy
That's
play.
like Brandon Jacobs, dude. People just bounced off of him.
Yeah.
People, that's what I want to see. I want to see you lower your shoulder, pound somebody into the ground, and then Brandon Jacobs will
I get
come
what
up
you're saying.
screaming. Yeah, that's
Brandon
what I'm
Jacobs
talking
was
about.
more of a power back. LaShawn McCoy was more of a finesse back. I like both of those aspects of the running game. Anybody that can turn a loss into a gain is exciting to watch. I don't
Yeah,
care who you
McCoy's an east-west guy. Jacobs north-south.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Derrick Henry is north-south.
Yeah.
are. Right.
So, yeah, there's a.
Let's take a second here and tell you, just like the NFL is rebuilding their teams, you could rebuild your credit at Cure a Debt, 844-255-6458, 844-255-6458. Cure a Debt can help you consolidate everything all into one payment. Fix that credit card, fix your credit score.
So you get that nice house, that nice car, and you don't have to pay so much more for it. You know, get the better interest rate. You know, get your score up.
844-255-6458. Now, guys, we're coming right up on our hour mark here. I know you've got some babies to get to. Well, I have babies. You have a baby.
I
But,
got a
mean,
food baby to get
all right.
to.
So I think we will possibly be wrapping it up. There's going to be a whole lot more draft talk coming. We got a bunch more rounds to go. We are still in the second round.
Yeah, where we're leaving it off right now. The Saints, they sent their pick in, so I guess we'll be able to finally see what their pick was by the, at least to end it off because we were talking about it for a
All
while.
right, yeah, well, we'll wait.
Because we thought they were going to go with a quarterback.
Well, let's take a second here.
Well, we
Let's
weren't
take a
really
sec-
sure who they were
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
Let's take a second here and let's say go over to sportsrants.com, check everything out over there. Hit up nygiantsrush.com. They got great material about the draft, not just Giants related. Go check them out. Hit us up at #VOBpod. I'm over at Andrew Bedlam. Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com, warzone.nfl. Thanks for all the love we get on YouTube,
definitely.
guys. We got
Thank
a lot
you.
of plays
Thanks
there.
for
So
subscribing
thanks
and
for
all
the
that.
comments, the subscriptions.
Yeah, and share
Tell
it with your friends too. Thank you. Share
Right.
them, and hopefully we can take this. We keep taking bigger steps. As you can see, we're starting to come into our own here, and not only that, we're delivering 2 shows a week, man. Not many shows
And I wrote
are
4 articles.
continuously
Bringing it to
doing
you.
it to you like that. So not only are we keeping it real, but we're keeping it current, and we're keeping content flowing. And still, the pick is not in yet, but
How much time is on the clock?
it just says the pick is coming in, so I am waiting for that to come in. Maybe they're at like a commercial break or something like that.
that
So,
figures.
but my question, just to segue, just to fill in some time real quick, I asked him, who is Carson Wentz or whoever the starting quarterback is for the
Week one?
Eagles going to be week 1. Who is he throwing to as his number 1 wide receiver?
Nelson Aguilar?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
It's good. The quarterback's probably still going to be Sam Bradford, and the receiver, the receiving core hasn't changed at all. So
Well, you never know. Sam Bradford.
Well, no, I
might
shouldn't say
not
it.
Be there week
we
one.
picked up Chris Givens and Ruben Randall and I think somebody else, but I mean,
Ruben
not
Randall.
not anybody.
Have fun with that.
yeah, right.
I like the Ruben Randall signing, but it's not like you picked up a number one.
No, yeah, I'm not going to trash
A
Ruben
number
that
one
hard, but
guy.
he has not hit what anybody thought he was. Now that he's a free agent, if he could be, your number 4, come in, number 2 sometimes, get you some catches, but he's never really put it together. He got a small contract.
The Eagles
with you
need a
guys,
possession
so I guess it
receiver,
would be
and they
good.
still
yes,
don't
exactly.
have one. They still
well,
don't have
I mean,
one.
they might have one in Ruben Randall. He can kind of be a possession receiver. He gets some drops though too. So who knows? But is this Saints
Sick of
pick
seeing
in yet?
drops.
The Saints pick is not in yet, but I was also thinking about, for the second round, I'm hoping that these Panthers address the hole in the cornerback position, and I was just looking at just to see who is available based on draft grade, and Mackenzie Alexander's still on the board from Clemson. I'm like, oh shoot, that's right. All right, well, don't tell nobody out there. Bring him to Carolina. All right.
I want to see if the Giants pick up a linebacker. Any
The
linebacker.
Giants. Well, what you guys got? You're done for this round, so
Yes.
you're gonna have to wait until the third.
I know, but that's tonight. That's tonight.
Yeah. So, well, where are you at in the third? Let's find out right now. Yeah. Did you just say meow?
Meow? Am I saying?
Are you saying?
meow?
Am I
Are you
drinking
saying-
milk out of a bowl?
Do I look like a cat to you?
Yeah. You
Am I
guys.
jumping all nimbly
Do I
nimbly?
chase mice?
Oh man, I love that movie. I remember going to see that in theaters too, which is
It's a
kind of funny
great
because it was
movie.
like a
Super
limited
Troopers.
release. Yeah.
Mother of God.
Mother of God.
Reminds me of Reno 911.
Yeah.
Put your game face on.
Yeah, you ever see Charlie?
you got it, boss.
You ever see Charlie and the waitress in Reno 911?
Oh
They're in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
They're like an incest couple. They
Oh.
have, like,
I haven't.
one
I haven't.
episode.
Is that show still like? They're still doing, like they're not
No.
doing like new episodes. I
Just to
love
fill
that
you in,
show.
No, but
71st
it's from,
pick
like-
is for the Giants.
Oh,
71st.
pick. It's from like whenever Reno was out. What was that, like 15 years ago? So they're
Oh,
young.
no,
in
I
it.
don't think it's that
and
long
Danny
ago, but-
DeVito was
And the
the
Saints
producer.
pick is in.
It's about time.
And
Who do they take?
Oh my goodness. Well, they went with Michael Thomas, wide receiver out of
Ooh.
Ohio State.
Ooh,
They're still
that is a
addressing that
nice
offense.
pick. All right. Okay, they need. But
So
I mean,
they must
he's a good
believe
player.
in that
though.
arm
He's
for
a good player.
another year. But honestly, he wasn't even like draft grade wise. From what I'm seeing, his it was a 5.8. And there was a couple more targets out there, like Tyler Boyd out of Pittsburgh, who had a higher draft grade. So I'm curious to see what the thought process was there. But you know what? That's for the next time.
All right, well, let's close on this. Chicago will be closing out this weekend, but let's close on. I'm going to say yes, Cook to Jets. Yes or no, Cook to Jets.
I'll say yeah.
I guess
because-
I guess just because of who I am. No.
Devil John. All right, it's going to wrap everything up. The NFL, all the teams are going to go.
Forget that drop.
Yeah.
Don't forget that drop.
All
You guys will see what I mean.
Sean went on a little rant about the Cowboys before we started recording.
We gotta put that in.
So we'll tag that on here at the end. But yeah, so I mean, we'll see you guys on Tuesday. We break down everything that happened in Chicago. Tell your friends. For John, Sean, I'm Andrew, and we are out of here. Catch you guys later.
Damn it, I hate the Cowboys. I wish I could curse on this show because I would just let it all out. Damn it, I hate Ezekiel Elliott, Jerry Jones, Tony Romo, Brian is stupid, Cowboys.